Hello, everyone. So today we're going to go on and discuss what we have already discussed in the class today concerning the writing a good thesis statement. So we said that a thesis statement is the most important sentence of your essay because it tells a lot about your essay. Thesis statement is usually placed near the end of the first paragraph of your essay, which is the introductory paragraph. It is a sentence that sums up or summarizes the central point of your paper or essay. So you can think of a thesis statement as a very short summary of the whole essay. And when we say summary, we mean that it should include most of the ideas, if not all the ideas that you're going to discuss throughout the essay. Now, if we want to divide a statement, thesis statement, into its basic parts, the first part is the topic, and usually the topic is what is introduced in the writing prompt, or in other words, it's the question that your instructor, your professor provides so that, or give you, that you will answer in the shape of essay. For example, when I say discuss healthy diet in Saudi community. So healthy diet in Saudi community is the topic. The second part of the thesis statement is the opinion. It's your position, where you stand. For example, if I ask you to write an essay about the influence of the internet in academia or in academic context, one of you might think of internet use in academia as a positive thing. Another one might think of it as a negative thing. So if you choose the first position, the first opinion, that internet is actually a positive thing in your education process, then this is your opinion that you are going to include in your thesis statement. So first, there is the topic, then the opinion, your opinion, or in other words, the position that you're standing on, and then comes the reasons, the part that has to do with reasons, why you think it's positive, why you think it's negative. So these are the basic parts of a thesis statement. Now, what is the function of each part of the thesis statement? The first part, which is the topic, it announces the topic to the reader. In other words, you are telling your reader what you're going to talk about or what you're going to write about. What about the topic? It is the part of the thesis statement in which you reflect a judgment about the topic. In other words, it's the place that you are taking when you are discussing this topic. The number three, the last part of this statement, which is the reasons why or how, depending, of course, on the type of essay you are writing. But for now, we're speaking about the argumentative essay. The last part, the final part of your topic, or sorry, of your thesis statement, provides the reader with the information of what is to come in the paper. Now, we have agreed that an essay is a piece of writing that consists of at least 5 parts. The first part is the introductory paragraph. The last part, or the 5th part, is the concluding paragraph. And the 3 paragraphs in the middle, this is what we describe as the flesh, the filling of your paragraph. It includes the ideas, the examples, details that you have about the topic you're discussing. So whatever you're going to write in these 3 middle paragraphs, these should be hinted out. These should be mentioned in your thesis statement. Let's take an example. Now we're speaking about argumentative essay. A good argumentative essay or thesis, is focused and not too broad. What does this mean? It means that you shouldn't mention facts. or obvious opinions that most people, if not all people, will agree upon. So if you say eating fast food is bad and should be avoided, now this is a statement, but mostly all people, approximately all people, will agree. So if all people will agree with the statement that you have brought, so you have nothing to defend. Let's go back to the so what test. What is the so what test? The so what test is a question that you ask yourself once you have finalized your thesis statement. Imagine that you are telling someone, or that you are reading to someone your thesis statement. If they say, so what? Then your thesis statement will fall apart. You have to change it. You have to make it more specific. So this statement is too general and would be nearly impossible for you to defend. It leaves a lot of big questions to answer. Is all fast food bad? Why is it bad? Who should avoid it? Why should anyone care? So what? Now, let's look at the good version of this thesis statement. Saudis should eliminate the regular consumption of fast food. So this is the topic. Okay, the topic is fast food, or consumption of fast food. And your opinion is that Saudis should eliminate, should eat less fast food. So it has a topic, it has an opinion, and the last part, because a fast food diet leads to preventable and expensive health issues, such as diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. So this is an example of a good thesis statement because it has the basic three parts that we have shortly discussed. It has a topic, it has an opposition, it has, in other words, your position is clear, it has a position, and it has also reasons why Saudis should eliminate regular consumption of fast food. Now let's discuss this in details. Not this thesis statement, but thesis statement in general. How can we write a good thesis statement? Okay, so this is the thesis statement. As you can see, the topic is the one in orange, and it should be also in green because you are expressing your opinion. Your opinion here is that Saudis should eliminate the regular consumption. In other words, you think that Saudis in Saudi community consume too much fast food, and you think it should be less. The reasons are in the blue shape, because the fast food diet leads to preventable and expensive health issues, such as diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. Now, how can you write a good thesis statement? You can write your thesis statement by following 4 simple steps. Number 1, start with a question. And be careful. When I say start with a question, I mean in your head. Now, this is the pre-writing stage of your writing process. So never start your thesis statement with a question. Never include a question in your thesis statement. But you are going to ask the question in your head. You're going to try to find answers for that question, to that question in your head before writing. Once you are just sketching, maybe brainstorming, trying to come up with ideas relating to your topic. So number 1, you're going to start with a question. Then you are going to write your initial answer. So when there is a question, obviously there are answers in your head, because you are writing about a topic that is familiar to you, that you can have answers for. Then you're going to develop your answer, and we'll see shortly now how to develop your the answers to your thesis statement. And the last step before finalizing your thesis statement is refine your thesis statement. Refine, it means you have to polish it, maybe add some spices, maybe make it more specific. We will discuss this later, inshallah. Now, let's start with the first step. Start with a question. For example, you might ask, has the internet had a positive or negative impact on education? This is a question that you are quite likely going to face. Or what impact did the invention of the Braille, which is the raised dot reading system used by blind and visually impaired people? It's a specific language for people with visual impairment. So what impact did the invention of Braille have? Now, so I'm finished with the question. I have asked the question. Let's focus on the first topic since it's very common and it's I guess it's appealing, and it's a topic that you might have good information or background about. It will not take too much of your time trying to search for answers or for more information. So the initial answer that comes to your mind, the internet has had more of a positive than a negative effect on education. Remember, this is an argumentative thesis statement. So it's fine, but not necessary that you hint out the other position, the other point of view, okay? But your thesis statement should state clearly what position you are in. Now, I have answered the question, which is in my head, of course, or on my first draft paper, that internet in education has positive and negative influence, but the positive are way more than the negative impact. Now, in step 3, which is developing your answer, you need to consider why this is your answer and how you will convince your reader to agree with you. As you read more about your topic and begin writing, your answers should get more detailed. And always remember that your writing process does not end when you write your thesis statement. It actually begins. So be prepared for different types of questions. Actually, you should prepare questions yourself because you're going to discuss the answer to each question in a separate paragraph throughout your essay. So you should be prepared with good information, maybe reasons, examples, more details, because these things are going to be developed from your thesis statement and going to be discussed in each paragraph of your essay. So this is an example of how we developed the answers to the previous question concerning the internet, how it's going to be developed, the answer itself. But this is, of course, this is not the final draft of our thesis statement. The negatives of internet use are outweighed by its many benefits for education because it facilitates easier access to information. So you have given a reason. And this reason is because internet facilitates easier access to information. So now be careful, because this reason that you have provided should generate at least 2, if not 3 ideas that will be discussed throughout the essay. Now you are going to refine your thesis statement. Is this the last thing? Now I have a question in my head. I've prepared answers for that question, and I have developed the answer by adding more detailed, maybe, reasons. Is that it? No, I need to refine my thesis statement. How is that going to be done? A strong thesis statement should tell your reader. Now, when you are finalizing your thesis statement, remember that the thesis statement that you have written should tell your reader why you hold this position, which means you have to support your thesis statement with reasons. 2, it should tell your reader why they will learn from your essay. Your essay should be informative. It should add new information to your reader. That's why people read essays, because they are looking for something new, something informative, okay? Then the key points of your argument or narrative. What does that mean? It's just like what I have said a minute ago. Whatever you mention in your thesis statement is expected to be detailed and discussed throughout the essay. So the final thesis statement does not just state your position, but summarizes your overall argument or the entire topic you are going to explain. So to strengthen a weak thesis statement, it can help to consider the broader context of your topic. In other words, it should relate to the whole thing, to the whole essay. Now, what's the final, our final draft of the thesis statement? This is the result. After doing the 4 steps, the negatives of internet use are outweighed by its many benefits for education. It facilitates easier access to information, exposure to different perspectives, and a flexible learning environment for both students and teachers. So, whatever comes after the 2 dots, it facilitates, etc., will be discussed throughout your essay. Now, this is all for writing thesis statement. This is a summary of what we have discussed today. Next time, we will discuss how can we develop thesis statement from different topics. How can we use a writing prompt, just similar to what we have discussed in class today, and use it to, number 1, ask a question. Number 2, find answers to that question. Number 3, develop the answer. And number 4, refine these answers into the shape of a thesis statement. So I'll see you next time. Have a good day and bye.